the break of dawn, the world appears to be unraveling before our eyes. Headlines flash across screens showing images of tense global conflicts, surging inflation, and staggering climate disasters. I stand amid this chaos, deeply aware that if you are watching me in 2025, you already know how unsettling life has become. I introduce you to an ancient story that mirrors these modern struggles. It is the story of Job, a man who in a single day saw his entire world collapse. Once a man known for his prosperity and joy, Job experienced the sudden loss of his wealth, his family, and all his security. In the midst of overwhelming grief, he clung to a questioning heart that sought to understand the reason behind his immense suffering. His ordeal reminds us that, even in our darkest moments, questions about divine goodness and fate endure. This narrative promises hope and challenges us to witness how, amid unfathomable loss, an even deeper faith can emerge, pushing us to confront our doubts and fears with courage and resilience. In today's world, the global stage is set with challenges that seem to multiply at every turn. I paint a picture of modern society as if it were unfolding live on a news ticker. Prominent global institutions have identified state-based armed conflicts as one of the greatest risks facing humanity, with tensions rising from one region to another, echoing familiar crises in conflict zones. The surge in economic instability is felt deeply in communities where once stable jobs have vanished and families struggle to make ends meet. Wealth has become concentrated in the hands of a few, leaving millions wrestling with financial despair. In many parts of the world, everyday conversations revolve around fears of soaring inflation and spiraling crime rates. This is not just abstract data, but a palpable reality that shapes the lives of ordinary people. I share a narrative that links these large-scale problems with the individual hardships occurring every day: loss of a job, health crises that overwhelm fragile healthcare systems, family breakdowns under financial pressure, and the isolation that breeds mental health struggles. Every statistic tells a story of personal suffering and collective uncertainty. I remind the audience that, just like the ancient narrative of Job, our experiences, though mired in modern circumstances, are part of a larger tapestry of life's trials. The global context of 2025 is a blend of state conflict, economic disparity, and environmental upheaval, all coalescing to test our resilience. In this portrayal, I want you to feel that the overwhelming challenges are multifaceted, yet share a common thread: the unpredictable nature of human existence. By drawing these parallels, I encourage you to see that ancient wisdom still resonates today, offering valuable insights into enduring hardship while seeking truth in the eye of the storm. Reflect on how these challenges, both global and intimate, interlace to form a complex tapestry of hardship and hope, urging us to search for wisdom beyond headlines and reminding us that every act of resilience carries the seeds of transformation that can rebuild our broken world with newfound strength and light our path forward with grace. Imagine a single day that shatters your entire existence. In the ancient narrative of Job, this day arrives like a series of relentless, calamitous news flashes. As I picture the scene, the sky itself seems to announce disaster with ominous fury. Initially, a messenger brings troubling news that faceless raiders have descended with ruthless determination, seizing Job's myriad herds and slaughtering his dutiful servants. In the next installment of devastation, another messenger arrives to report that a consuming fire descending from the heavens has engulfed his precious livestock, obliterating the wealth that once defined his legacy. Not stopping there, yet another messenger delivers the grim report that enemy forces, like shadowy invaders, have organized raiding parties to capture his treasured camels and left a trail of blood and sorrow in their wake. Finally, the final blow is struck as a ferocious, swirling wind crashes through a house filled with life and laughter, reducing it to rubble and claiming the lives of all his beloved children. This horrifying cascade of calamities leaves Job, once the epitome of prosperity and stability, stripped of every earthly possession. Witnessing the enormity of this catastrophic day, one cannot help but draw parallels to today's turbulent world, where sudden disasters, from economic collapses to natural catastrophes and acts of terror, reverberate with similar shock and grief. Despite facing such overwhelming calamity, Job's initial response is not one of immediate despair. Instead, a sober, painful humility erupts from his heart. He tears his garment, shaves his head, and stands in the wreckage of his former life, acknowledging the profound mystery of his suffering. This dramatic account powerfully mirrors the modern experience where unexpected tragedies, whether economic, natural, or violent, can upend entire lives in an instant, forcing each individual to confront the raw vulnerability of human existence. As you follow Job's disastrous day, let it remind you that sudden, sweeping loss is a shared human experience, bridging ancient wisdom and today's challenges, and that within such devastation lies the seed of a deeper, transformative faith. After the torrent of calamities, Job is left with a raw emptiness that demands answers. In the silence following the storm, he grapples with a profound internal struggle. His body is weak, marked by painful sores that cover every inch of his skin, intensifying his isolation and despair. As Job stares at the remnants of his shattered existence, questions begin to brew in the depths of his mind. He wonders why he was allowed to survive the moment of birth only to endure such relentless torment, and why life is burdened with mystery that seems cruel. His inner reckoning is not merely a cry of sorrow, but a profound quest for meaning. A search that echoes the struggles of countless individuals today who face the barrage of personal and global tragedies. This heart-wrenching inquiry is not a sign of lost faith. Rather, it is a testament to the depth of human yearning for truth. Job wrestles with the enormity of his pain by questioning a higher power capable of creating the heavens, yet remaining silent in his suffering. In his vulnerability, he reflects on the possibility that perhaps pain is an intrinsic part of the human experience, deliberately woven into the fabric of life. His questions resonate with those who feel abandoned by a system that seems indifferent to their plight. Every anguished thought in his mind shouts, "Why me? And where is God in this chaos?" In Job's honest confrontation with his own anguish, there is a silent invitation for all of us to explore our own doubts, to embrace our confusion as a necessary step toward a more genuine faith, and to find solace even amid the darkest nights. Thus, Job's inner turmoil mirrors our own struggles, urging us to persist in our search for understanding with unwavering resolve. As calamity unfolds, Job is joined by his well-meaning friends who arrive with opinions meant to soothe but only add to the confusion. The friends, whose identities are known as Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, bring with them traditional wisdom born of long-held beliefs. Their minds, shaped by the conventional view that suffering is a direct consequence of moral failure, quickly jump to conclusions. They suggest that Job must have sinned in some unknown way, for nothing falls from grace without reason. In their eager attempts to diagnose his misfortune, they offer up simplistic solutions that fail to capture the complexity of his experience. Their advice, though voiced with apparent compassion, inadvertently compounds the pain by imposing judgment on his suffering. I recall how, in our own modern lives, such well-intended but misguided counsel can sometimes deepen our sense of isolation. When friends and strangers alike provide shortcuts of "everything happens for a reason," it only leaves one feeling more misunderstood. The ancient friends mirror the quick, easy answers often spouted on social platforms, where deep crises are reduced to mere sound bites. Their inability to see the nuances of Job's distress reminds us that in times of devastation, what is needed is not shallow reproach or empty platitudes, but genuine empathy. Their words, far from comforting, are a stark reminder that sometimes, no matter how earnestly one tries to help, oversimplified advice misses the mark, and authentic healing requires listening, understanding, and the courage to sit with pain without judgment. After lengthy debates and relentless sorrow, the moment comes when the Almighty breaks the silence. Out of the chaotic roar of a storm, an overwhelming presence emerges, and I witness how the divine voice offers neither direct explanation nor a tidy resolution to Job's immense suffering. Instead, the voice poses questions that stretch beyond the confines of human understanding. In this surreal, electrifying encounter, the divine questions challenge Job to contemplate the intricacies of the natural world, the creation of the universe, the order of its cosmic dance, and the delicate balance of life under the vast heavens. These questions are not meant to provide immediate relief, but to remind Job that the same power that set the stars in motion governs the forces of nature. From the gentle wind to the roaring tempest, as I narrate this vivid exchange, I perceive it as a moment where the language of God transforms into a poetic demonstration of wisdom and might. The questions serve as both a wake-up call and a call to humility, urging Job, and by extension, all of us, to acknowledge our limited grasp of life's grand design. Through each rhetorical inquiry, the Almighty gently insists that while human beings may search for logical patterns to explain their suffering, the universe operates on a scale far beyond our comprehension. The divine voice subtly shifts the perspective from a focus on individual loss to an appreciation of the broader, mysterious order of creation. Though Job listens intently, the storm's wind and the deep rumble of thunder serve as constant reminders that not every mystery is meant to be unraveled by the human mind. In this moment of powerful silence, following the barrage of questions, I sense a transformative invitation for Job, and for every listener, to trust in a presence that maintains balance in chaos. It is a call to recognize that the same wonders that evoke the awe of a starry night are at play in our lives, providing strength in moments of despair and hope amid the uncertainty of existence. Each word of the divine challenge reminds us that our human view is limited. These questions invite us to release the need for complete answers and embrace trust. In the lingering echo of thunder, we find both a call to humility and a promise that behind our pain lies a wider, mysterious order that sustains us, guiding every trembling heart indeed. After the overwhelming barrage of divine questions, a quiet transformation takes hold. In that moment, Job experiences a breakthrough unlike any before. No miraculous declaration of understanding or sudden relief washes away his suffering. Instead, in the silence that follows, Job comes to a deeper realization. He has moved from merely hearing about God to truly seeing him. This change is subtle, yet profound, as the darkness of his grief begins to yield to a gentle light of insight. In the midst of his pain, Job discovers that encountering the divine is not about having all the answers. It is about embracing the mystery of faith. He finds solace in the realization that the presence of God, even when wrapped in the enigma of unanswered questions, offers comfort beyond fleeting resolutions. Through the crucible of his suffering, Job's spirit emerges refined, no longer clinging to hollow certainties, but enriched by a personal encounter that reshapes his relationship with the divine. This quiet breakthrough, born from loss and heartache, reminds us that sometimes the most transformative insights come not from clear answers, but from the silent, persistent presence of hope. In that gentle unveiling, faith finds its true strength beyond measure. In the quiet aftermath of unimaginable loss, the story takes a turn towards restoration. Here, restoration does not come as an undoing of the pain, but as a subtle, graceful renewal. Job finds that while his material fortunes are restored and his family renewed, the echoes of his suffering remain as poignant marks on his soul. This restoration is not a simple return to the way things once were, but rather an emergence into a deeper, more resilient mode of living. It is as if life has been gently rearranged, offering Job not only new blessings, but also the wisdom gleaned from his hardships. Every regained possession and every renewed relationship carries with it the silent testimony of past sorrow, now transformed into a quiet strength. In this renewed life, Job does not claim that the pain is forgotten, but rather that it has become a source from which new hope grows. It is a reminder that restoration in the wake of tragedy is complex. Some losses are never entirely mended, yet through grace and perseverance, the human spirit can be lifted into a state of profound healing and renewed purpose. This truth endures, inspiring hearts to hope anew, truly. In facing the challenges of 2025, Job's journey offers 4 practical lessons for every weary heart. First, allow yourself to grieve completely and honestly. Acknowledging pain is the first step toward healing. Second, be cautious of easy answers, for oversimplified explanations can obscure the truth behind complex realities. Third, seek the presence of something greater in the midst of your storm, recognizing that hope can be found even when answers are elusive. Fourth, let your struggle refine your spirit, transforming hardship into a deeper, resilient faith. These steps, drawn from Job's experience, empower us to navigate the chaos with courage and introspection. As we apply these lessons in our daily lives, we begin to see that even the darkest moments can become portals to profound personal growth and renewed purpose. Embrace these steps as a roadmap for healing, guiding you steadily toward a future filled with promise, with unwavering hope. As the narrative draws to a close, I leave you with a reassuring vision that even amid the tumult of 2025, hope endures. The story of Job is not merely an ancient account, but a mirror reflecting our own struggles and the possibility of renewal. Even when the world around us seems to collapse, remember that the divine presence remains constant, offering comfort in unexpected ways. This timeless message invites us to trust in the power of transformation, to hold on to hope when despair looms large, and to recognize that every setback can pave the way for a greater comeback. Reflect on your own journey, take heart from Job's resilience, and let these insights guide you toward a future where love, strength, and renewal are always within reach. Cherish this enduring hope every day and share your journey with others to inspire transformation in a world that is ever-changing today.